And Jay goes, let's get it straight. Nobody's afraid of 50 Cent.
I want everyone to be clear. No one's scared of 50 Cent.
At that point, his safe presentation, even the glasses, what the glasses represent? Intelligence, right? A nerd, maybe. What are some of the things that come along with you being a nerd? Like, don't hit a guy before he's not identifying with the transition and difference and the perception of JayZ. Now he's really safe and people feel comfortable with him because they know he's not going to do anything inappropriate or try not to. Meanwhile, when he's saying he's not afraid of 50 Cent, why would you have to make that clear when no one's ever asked me?
7 minutes ago, a documentary dropped that could fracture an entire genre, and the man pointing the camera says he has receipts. 50 Cent just lit a fuse that the hip-hop world has been tiptoeing around for over 20 years. He walked on camera and called Sean Carter, the man we all know as JayZ, the same thing he once called Diddy. Almost word for word. And if that isn't a shot across the bow, nothing is. But here's the part people are missing. He didn't stop at the name. He started counting numbers, dates, and dollar amounts. And suddenly this stopped sounding like a feud. It started sounding like a file. Listen to the opening shot. 50 Cent goes, JayZ, you're just like Diddy. I can't stand your arrogant, condescending attitude. Nicki posted a video of you wearing a pink wig, and I retweeted it. Nothing more. You deserved it. End quote. That word right there, condescending, that's not a bar, that's a description. And the rest of the rant reportedly builds like a prosecutor's closing argument. He allegedly accuses JayZ of helping build Tidal from nothing into a successful platform and then allegedly pocketing Nicki Minaj's reported $7.9 million in royalties. He reportedly drags in the Super Bowl decision, alleging Lil Wayne was qualified and got pushed out over personal grudges. He reportedly brings up Beyoncé's PR team. He even allegedly warns JayZ not to send another legal letter because, quote, this is a dispute between men and she has no right to interfere, end quote. That's not a tweet. That's a declaration. But then it gets messier. Because right after 50 Cent allegedly aired footage of him and his father in the documentary, he reportedly says JayZ's lawyer came at him with a warning letter. And here's the contradiction nobody is talking about. If the film is malicious slander, why hasn't there been a defamation suit? 50 Cent reportedly says that's because, quote, all the evidence I have is true, end quote. That's a bold claim to make on camera if any of it can fall apart in court.
12 feet is close, even though Jay's lawyer came out and said they're not.
Because JayZ and Puff was given an assignment. And that was to destroy East Coast rap. And what I mean by that, and I know people gonna be like, yo, Gene is out of his mind and everything like that. Check this out, brother. Is that New York rappers was getting 80 to 100, 800 to 1.2 million, or some larger than that, and to sign with labels back then. And they was getting a lot of money to make albums and records. When they had guys down south that these labels was paying $250,000, $300,000 on record deals, and these guys was bringing back platinum albums and everything like that. So what they had to do was they had to keep New York rappers down. That's one reason, other than the Irv Gotti that 50 was going through and the poison they was putting in about 50, he had to go elsewhere to California or with Jay and not with Dre and Eminem to get a deal. They did not want East Coast rappers to get big. They were suppressing all new artists that was coming out of New York. Jay and Diddy was doing that. That's why when I heard your story, because I knew this for a long time, but when I heard Dame Dash that Jay wouldn't sign off on nothing, Jay wouldn't do this and Jay would that, because he couldn't let a Cameron blow up. He couldn't let an East Coast rapper like Beanie Siegel blow up. Because him and Diddy was giving that deal, we got to keep these East Coast rappers down. Because down south rappers, Cash Money, No Limit, Ludacris and them, they was taking little money and bringing back more money and making more money for them. So the record labels, I wouldn't say they was going to lose off the East.
For years, the tension between 50 Cent and JayZ simmered quietly, whispered behind closed industry doors. Now, this documentary turns speculation into revelation. Both men rose as architects of hip-hop, yet their paths could not have been more different. One bold and confrontational, the other calculated and strategic. Revisiting their clashes forces a provocative question. Who truly shapes the culture? The loud disruptor or the silent mastermind? And if influence often works in the shadows, how much of hip-hop history have we mistaken for coincidence?
Look, when Jay signed his contract, the big one was with Beyonce. Mm-hmm. When he signed that contract, the marriage contract, he got trophies. Now those fucking trophies, trophies came rolling in, buddy. He started getting Grammys left and right, man. I mean, look, if you look at his career,
Wow. You're gonna let him say that?
Jay was getting Grammys.
He had one.
Exactly.
He had one.
And he ain't show up.
No, he had like 20 now.
Hold on.
He had like 18 since he been down. Look, he had one, bro. Hard Knock Life.
Hold on. You're not wrong. At the same time.
After that, he got them shits. He started drinking. His pictures were in like fucking things the cup.
Wait a minute. So you're saying the success is derived from the marriage?
I've absolutely been treated differently.
The accolades.
Because he's no
marriage.
longer viewed as what, like a street or gangster rapper. Now he's viewed as a businessman, entrepreneur, family man.
And the biggest ones because of the position Beyonce's.
Oh, wow.
Right? You were connected to the biggest.
Jay got it for the music. Jay got it for the music.
I'm saying shit you didn't see.
He deserved those.
I'm sitting there, it's like this, like Black Excellence, they're sitting there like, yeah. It's the billionaire brunch. You're like,
I hate you, man.
Unaware of anything going on here. This is the one time I'm going to be with you niggas this year. Yeah. Come on, bro.
That's crazy. That's crazy. He just looking at his watch during the whole Rock Nation, bro. Like, is it 3:30?
Yeah, it's almost time to get out.
What the fuck is that?
Yo, I feel like I'm normal again. Get me out of here.
Oh wow! So that's the deal he signed, huh?
Yeah, that's the deal. Like, the other ones didn't count as much as that one did.
The next move of the film is where it gets dangerous. 50 Cent allegedly claims there was an actual assignment handed down at the top of the industry, and the goal wasn't to elevate East Coast rap. It was reportedly to keep it under control. He reportedly points to deals from back in the day. New York rappers, he allegedly says, were reportedly getting $80,000 to $100,000, sometimes $800,000, even $1 million deals, while Southern artists were reportedly being signed for $250,000 to $300,000 and reportedly bringing back platinum records. According to the film's argument, the math reportedly wasn't about talent. It was reportedly about leverage. Keep New York small so the bottom line stays fat elsewhere. He allegedly brings up Dame Dash, claiming JayZ allegedly wouldn't sign off on deals that would have lifted Cameron or Beanie Siegel because allegedly letting another East Coast artist blow up didn't fit the strategy. That's a serious accusation, and at this point it's still alleged, not proven. But the pattern reportedly being laid out is reportedly hard to ignore.
Oh, yeah, before I forget this, we talked about Jay. Proximity to Diddy. You don't think he knew anything? He's seemingly around Diddy a lot.
No, that was a real suburb question.
I know, right? Proximity.
Hold on. And the proximity.
Proximity. That's the SAT hit parade word. I had to learn that.
Jim, do you think he fucking knew all of the shit that was going on? Yeah, that was like a
I don't want to incriminate myself.
I know, but the way he said it,
Like I said,
no matter how you answer that shit, you snitching.
That was a nice kind of question. Yeah.
You asked the question like a fan.
hey, I grew up with white people, but it's one thing I know is how to get a black guy in trouble.
But it's a great question.
Yo, just give him the Happy Meal before you ask him to snitch, bro.
He said, damn, they wasn't even drinking.
Speaking of, how the hell you pronounce Lechem?
Lechemin-de-Roi.
Okay.
It's the King's Path.
King's Path.
Chemin-de-Roi.
Because I know Branson. That's the one I pronounce.
Branson. That's the Branson lifestyle. You're going to be outside.
Biff, you're not worried that if you throw little and you don't throw out allegations, but like you kind of poke fun at them.
You just ask questions.
You're not worried that it comes back your way? Like people dig up your past and try to pull stuff up?
I don't got that shit in my past. I'm not.
Everybody got a little bit.
Look,
like, not that it's real enough.
I took a pill, but it was for me to perform better. For her to remember, buddy. I didn't fucking give her a drink so she forget what the fuck happened. What the fuck is going on here, bro? Yes, I took the drink. I gave me the fucking drug to perform. So she can remember and possibly love me for that.
Did it work?
What the fuck? Yo, bro, look, I'm doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. You know what I mean? Like, but I'm just saying, this is the opposite of normal shit that we're talking about, bro.
That is why. I don't know why it's so hard for people
So
just
for
to
people to
acknowledge
feel
weird
like
shit is
you
weird.
would have something or you would have reserve.
The film then reportedly jumps to the timing of releases. Allegedly, overlapping album drops were never accidents. 50 Cent reportedly frames this as pressure, not competition, allegedly revealing an industry allegedly built to favor the already powerful. When access allegedly matters more than talent, the music world starts to look less like a meritocracy and more like a marketplace of leverage. So the question becomes, where does ambition end and obstruction begin?
Are you all right? Do you need anything? None of the people that have vocalized that another man, and to me, again, that whole conversation's a bit feminine. But if you're going to say some like that, you should have actually done something to help the problem. But I never got the call from Ray saying, do you need anything? And anyone else that I've ever given, paid a bill, paid their rent, paid their college, any dollar, not one person, and I don't want them to, because they know I'm all right. But not one person has called and said, yo, could I send you something to help? But I don't need the help. But if you're going to talk about it, be about it. But to me, that's just a jab when you tell and promote a false narrative and say that I'm in such a bad place that another dude should help me. And that my tail's in between my legs to the extent because of a lawsuit that I would actually take that money. I'm a man. I don't want nobody to give me nothing but the opportunity to do what I got to do. And I don't see no opportunity. I don't want to perform for the Super Bowl. I'm not all right with the NFL. I'm still mad it ain't no black owners. We went from kneeling to being happy when we could perform for them. That wasn't what I was about. I was about ownership of our own league and taking pride in that. I'm not a court jester for everybody else to get good ratings. I know what we're being used for. And I'm not cool with that. So it's a big deal is to jump on a stage for a bunch of white owners? No, that's embarrassing to me. It's a spectacle. They're laughing at us. Like being tatted on the back by another culture is not how I judge my success. Only person that has the audacity to pat me on my back is my family. And they better, I'd be like, you better chill out. I don't want no pats on the back. I don't play that. I'm not in the patty pat club on no level.
I feel you. But speaking of the NFL, I know right now Nicki Minaj, she calling out Jay. And I know Colin Kaepernick's wife, she called out Jay saying that, Jay did her husband wrong. But I don't know. I don't know the backstory behind that, man. But I know it's going, viral right now on social media. But I do want to ask you, how do you feel about the NFL right now in general?
It's funny. She's cool. She's cool with my wife, Rocky.
Now the film reportedly pivots to the marriage. This is the part that's reportedly going to make people uncomfortable. According to the documentary, JayZ's biggest career shift reportedly happened after he signed what 50 Cent calls the marriage contract. And from that point forward, Grammys allegedly started rolling in. The argument in the film is that the accolades came because he was allegedly no longer viewed as a street or gangster rapper. He was allegedly now a businessman, an entrepreneur, a family man, and allegedly the biggest one because of the position his wife is in. So the documentary is allegedly implying, alleged, not proven, that love and branding intersected in ways the public never fully saw.
Why does it all come to a head now? Why now? Why?
Because he's the acceptable monster at this time, like R. Kelly was the last time I sat on this couch.
So who's next?
Y'all don't see the lineup?
Yeah, we see the lineup. I'm just waiting to see who's next.
JayZ is setting Diddy up. Why is everyone having such a hard time? He ain't doing shit different. He lined up D. Haven, stole his life and identity. He lined up Big L, stole his life and identity. He lined up Dame Dash, stole his life, identity, and took his love. Lined up R. Kelly. He wants to be the one.
Yeah, shout out D. Haven. He actually hit us up, wanted to tell this story.
You need to talk to D. Haven.
We need to talk to him.
I told you that last year when I put you on the phone with him.
You did.
I want you to think about this. Allegedly, Sean Carter is responsible for enacting Hype Williams to put Aaliyah on a faulty plane to move her out the way as punishment for rejecting him. And so he could level up Beyonce, who was struggling. Let's just say allegedly that happened. Now I want you to think about 106th and Park with Mary J. Blige. Free, who is a victim of Sean Carter.
Yeah.
Mary J. Blige, who is a victim of Sean Combs, are sitting there talking about the death of Aaliyah amongst each other.
While U.S. charts allegedly told one story, the international numbers allegedly told another. 50 Cent reportedly challenges the notion of domestic success, allegedly showing how marketing power can shape perception as much as talent. It's a reportedly revealing and uncomfortable truth. Cultural dominance can allegedly be engineered, not just earned. And if popularity can be bought, what does victory truly mean?
You knew Jay personally, right?
Know him, been around him a couple of times, bro. Been around him a few times, but I didn't know him. You know him as I'm sitting down and I'm breaking bread, eating off, eating a meal around him and shit like that, laughing, talking and joking like that. I've been around JayZ, and one time I wanted to knock his head off, because he was being disrespectful, but he didn't know he was being disrespectful because he ain't that type of dude. You understand what I'm saying?
What happened?
We was in Cancun and he had a personal assistant from my block named Laura. And he had brought like 3 people to the club. He had brought like 6 people to the club with him, and he was only supposed to get 3 people in. I was running the door at Daddy-O's from Industry Entertainment. They just told me JayZ only get 3 people in. You understand? So I'm at the door. I said, yo, Jay, you good? And 3 of your other good, but the other 3 got to pay. So then he said, Laura, handle him. And at that time, the type of dude I was, you couldn't tell no woman to handle me. You understand? When I'm talking to you as a man. So then I said, who you talking to like that? You telling her to handle me? You understand? And then me and him, he didn't say nothing. He just turned to the side. And if he'd have turned back around, he'd have got his head knocked off. But Laura told me, yo, Gene, please, Gene, you're going to make me lose my job. You understand? And because, one, she was beautiful. 2, she's from our block. You understand? I wasn't going to do that to her. You understand? So I gathered myself, stepped away from the situation, and then the promoter said Jay can let his people come in. You know what I'm saying? But he was being disrespectful. This is the same dude that Harlem cats used to laugh at and joke at. Even we was out there that time, he came to Cancun and he had a fake Versace shirt on, and they was ripping him. I mean, they was ripping him. I know he's a billionaire Nike or whatever he got. He got $10 million watches and shit like that. But we talking about back then. You understand? We still had those stories from back then. And it's good that a brother can uplift himself. And that's why he's the type of person that he is, because he knew how guys used to treat him. That's why you could see him trying to sun people based on somebody who gets in that type of situation. You understand? This dude had the same cream deli silk shirt that I had. Now, cream deli cream shirts were fake printed Versace shirts. They were nice. You pay $45 for them, but you can't wear that around Harlem cats. You understand what I'm saying? Not if you in the rap industry. At that time, they used to have diamond testers. You understand? They'll roll up on the cat, and if your diamond don't beat, you understand? They'll talk about you. Snatch your chain off or whatever like that. So he had the fake cream deli cream shirt on, and they was roasting him. I think I seen him in a black t-shirt from that point on in Cancun the whole time he was there. Yo, let me just tell you something. When dudes from Harlem got something on you, bro, and they joking you, they at it. They gonna stop until somebody with some power or somebody with some money say, yo, get that dude a break. Give him a break. So Dame probably used to let him get him in a little bit, but then when Dame was like, yo, my man, let my man live. Let him live. They probably back up off of him or stuff like that. But they was joking, they was talking and stuff like that. And because you just don't do that. You don't come to no major event with nothing fake or phony on. Not at all. Unless the only way you could get away with something fake or phony on, if it was Dapper Dan. If it was a Dapper Dan special, you good. If it wasn't Dapper Dan, nah. You couldn't do that, bro. Not at all. Should have known better. But he was from Brooklyn.
But from what you know about Jay, do you believe he's capable of doing what he's being accused of?
What I know of Jay and what have I heard of Jay, I want to say this to protect myself, that there's stories of Jay talking to underage girls. It was a girl from my block that was 16, 17 years old that Jay was talking to. If she was 17. So there's plenty of stories out there that they might flood the market of Jay talking to underage girls. I heard this kid that is claiming to be his son. His mother was 15 when she conceived him and had him at 16. And Jay refused to do a blood test or anything like that. And all of a sudden, when this has gotten real big and Tony Bugsby had taken the kid's case, the kid just got arrested for having a gun in his car, I think like that. Did you hear something about that? That the kid got arrested for having a gun in his car, and when they go and watch the tape, somebody was planting a gun in the kid's car. Now the kid who never been in trouble to that degree, and now he's facing a case for a gun case for having a loaded firearm in his car. So, answer your question. There's plenty of stories. Ain't Beyonce one of those stories? Isn't Foxy Brown one of those stories? Isn't that kid mother one of his stories? There's a lot of stories, bro. So That's what I say about it.
In the end, 50 Cent reportedly positions himself against a culture of quiet compliance. He reportedly argues that restraint is allegedly often self-preservation, not neutrality. By allegedly speaking openly, he allegedly challenges an ecosystem that reportedly rewards silence over truth. And the final question reportedly hangs heavy. In an industry reportedly built on voice, why are allegedly so many allegedly afraid to use it? So that's the documentary everyone is reacting to right now. The feud allegedly looked one way for 2 decades. Now it allegedly looks like a documented case file. Some of it is reportedly confirmed: the Diddy arrest in 2025, the 1999 at Salt conviction, the 2024 civil filing is filed not proven. Some of it is allegedly 12 layers of alleged stacking on top of alleged. And all of it is allegedly sitting on a hard drive somewhere waiting for round 2. Got a take? Drop it below. And tell me this. If the second film drops, who reportedly blinks first?